Welcome, all football fans. Welcome to the show that brings you all things football. We've got the Xstream Team here, Bonga, Nene, and myself, Quabs. Football Extreme is back on your screens. Say how's it to the fans, Nene. How's it, DJ?
Hello, football fans. Welcome to another joint seating on the Xstream show.
Yes.
Yeah,
welcome everyone. Welcome to Football Extreme. It's been a minute, but we're back. We're back.
Yeah, the Platinum Trio's back. Or I can't use Platinum Trio. Someone's gonna sue me for copyright infringement. But yeah, the three of us are back, and we are talking football once again. Football Extreme brings you the relegation fight at the bottom of the English Premier League, starring one of the worst Premier League teams I've ever seen in Norwich City, as well as Watford, perennial fighters in the relegation zone in the Premier League. Burnley, who haven't always been in the bottom of the log, but now they're there. And wow, a surprise team, guys. I didn't think I'd ever be talking about Everton fighting relegation, but there they are there. And I think I'll just top it off with the fifth team in 16th spots, Leeds United. They're also there in that fight. So this movie of relegation struggles, guys. The bottom five teams, Leeds United on 33 points, Everton on 29 points, Burnley on 25 points, Watford on 22, and Norwich in 20th spot on 21 points, only just even showing that they're a Premier League team. So let's get into it. Let's get into the meat of this, gentlemen. Bottom three, who are your predictions? Right off the top of the bat, I think the last time we brought this topic, we spoke about the fact that Norwich is just a shoo-in for relegation. We just were like, yeah, Norwich is gone. And then, true to form, they are still there, right at the foot of the table. But at the last time we spoke about this, Newcastle, who have just bolted out of the relegation zone, are now sitting on 40 points in the 11th spot. So first of all, guys, Newcastle needs a round of applause, guys. They just got money and they just ran out of there like a bat out of hell. And they're like, hell no, guys, we're not getting relegated.
Yeah, they got money, they got a new coach, they got new players, and they flew to 11th spot. So
oh my goodness, Newcastle
can't be spending all this Arab money in the championship. Come on,
the championship.
Break.
Oh my goodness. So let's talk about it now, guys. Norwich City, their chances, they are sitting way down there, way out of safety. I mean, they are 8 points behind Everton, who are on 17th spots. Their chances of surviving relegation, I mean, they pushed Man United on the weekend, but I mean, I'm sure Cristiano Ronaldo always knew he was going to be scoring a hat-trick in this game. What are Norwich's chances of even trying to just break past the 18th spot?
None. I don't know why they even bother coming back. Because every time they do this, they get promotion, come back to the Premier League, stay one season, bottom of the table, straight back. So I don't know why. Maybe they even changed the coach this time, but still it did not work out. Maybe it's time for some new blood. Let go of the Timo Pukki's and your Tim Cruz, get new guys in. Maybe they can do a better job, because these players have been up and down with Norwich for the past 6 years now, if I may say.
Yeah.
Get promotion, get relegated, promoted, relegations. Like a yo-yo with them all the time, up and down, up and down. I'm sure the Norwich City fans have had enough. They want Premier League and stay in the Premier League, not Premier League and straight down the bottom to the championship bid again.
Yeah. Nene, what's your take on them? I mean, Timo Pukki, to me, looks like he's a guy who should be in the Premier League, staying in the Premier League, bringing in the goals. But with this Norwich team, doesn't look like he's got enough support. But what's your take on them in terms of their chances of surviving?
They're not. I mean, they're not going to survive. As DJ said, they're just one of those teams that just come up and down. And because the Premier League needs 20 teams, then there's Norwich. If the Premier League needs 18 teams, there'll be no Norwich. You know, they're just there for the numbers. I mean, 3 losses in the last 5 games, and you're sitting in the bottom of the log. You're not showing any sign of wanting to get out of the bottom. So yeah, I think they've accepted. They're planning for next season, and as DJ said, we'll see them again in the season after, because they will come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, they swap, because we saw that Fulham got promotion to the Premier League, and they want to stay one season. Then when they get relegated, Norwich is going to come up. So they're like, well, yeah, okay, it's your turn now. Okay, see you next time. Meet the same place again. Always like that with Norwich.
Yeah, well
Fulham.
done. That's a notable mention right there. Fulham just securing their place back in the Premier League. And as you said, it's just typical. It's Fulham, it's Norwich, it's Sunderland back in the day. Sunderland these days now, they got relegated and just went out, down, down, down. But it was Sunderland, Fulham, Norwich, Watford,
Wigan.
All those yo-yo teams. I mean, Wigan was always in the relegation zone. Always. Just fighting, surviving. But then those are the teams that just keep doing this. Down, up, down, up, down, up all the time. Yeah. So Fulham's back. They just won the championship. But yeah, Norwich looks like they're going to be swapping places. Let's see. Are they going to be swapping places again the season after that? I think so too. But I mean, if you look at the matches coming up, Nene, if you can probably dissect it. Norwich's next matches, big one. Newcastle at home. That would have been, if this was 3 months ago, this would have been a relegation fight. Not anymore. Newcastle's got their 40 points. And that's the thing about the Premier League, is that if you get to 40, you're assured you are not going to be relegated. And Newcastle just got there, 40 points on the head, 11 spots. Norwich is only just past halfway. So they're not getting to 40 anytime soon. But in the next game after that, they play Aston Villa, who are in 15th spot on 36 points. I can safely say maybe Aston Villa is fine. They could be looking over their shoulder, but I think Steven Gerrard's got his boys sorted. Then they play West Ham, Leicester, Wolves, and Spurs. Yeah. Jenny, what do you think about them? Should we even still be talking about them right
now? We can only talk about them for upset, because I think they are going to win a couple of games in those matches, even games that we least expect them to win, just to cause a stir, but not for them to survive, just to screw with other teams. Like they could beat Aston Villa just to sort of suck Villa into the the relegation battle. But yeah, as you said, it's not really worth talking about them. As I've said, 3 losses in the last 5 games, 1 draw, 1 win. If you're sitting in the bottom, that's not a record that you want. And looking at the next 5, even if they continue with the same form, 3 losses, 1 draw, and 1 win, they're gone. So yeah, for me, they should start planning for next season in the championship.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So then let's move on. You look at Watford, a team that lost their influential leader in Troy Deeney. I don't even know what happened there. Troy Deeney was there 1 minute, next thing he's gone. But Watford is now 19 spots on 22 points, just 1 point ahead.
22 points.
I mean, there it's more or less much the same for those guys in terms of the fact that they're going to be looking like they're going to be relegated. I mean, they got such notable players as well, like Sarr And I mean, these guys, they got notable players in that team, but for whatever reason, they just couldn't do it. Yeah, Nene.
It's disappointing. Watford, I thought they would survive, but they've got a poor record. 4 losses, 1 win in the last 5 games, and you're sitting 19th in the log. It's not a form that you should be having going into the last weekend of the season. And 4 losses and 1 win in 5 games doesn't tell me that you want to survive anyway. So they've been poor. They've been poor all season. Even change of management didn't do anything. It just, I don't know. It just made it worse. I think instead of helping them. So, but just like Norwich, they'll be back, bro. But they're going. But they'll be back.
I think we have this consensus that okay, these are the guys that are definitely going, and they'll definitely be back next season. The end of next season, Fulham will go up, will go back down, swap places with Norwich. Watford will win the playoffs. Watford will win the second automatic place, and then we'll see who's going to win the playoffs. But yeah, I mean, Watford also, their fixture list is killer. I mean, they've got Man City next on Saturday. They've got relegation strugglers as well as in with Burnley. So here's the thing that Watford might keep or might give them hope. And this is probably so bad, but for the Premier League to give them hope. So DJ, you can tell me. They've got Burnley, fellow relegation candidates. They've got Everton, also fellow relegation candidates. But they've got City and they've got Chelsea in their last couple games. And then Leicester City, who's mid-table, and Crystal Palace. But DJ, I mean, they've got Chelsea, City, 2 teams that are going to kill them. And then they've got Burnley and Everton, 2 teams that will give them hope to win and then think that they can get it out the fire. What do you say?
I don't see them getting anything. Even 30 points is a massive ask for Watford right now. First of all, Man City is just going to kill their spirits, and Chelsea is just going to finish them off. And just like Norwich, up and down, up and down.
Up and down.
It's really disappointing because Brentford, the team that won via the playoffs, flying in the Premier League. I mean, they're looking impressive, and these guys that finished above them and got automatic positions are right there at the bottom and look like to be well on their way to the championship. So Watford as well, it's what they do. They come up one season and go down, and changing coaches like it's nobody's business. Before Roy Hodgson, it was Claudio Ranieri. He came with some kind of revolution. I remember they beat Man United 4-1 during all these last 2 games, and those guys are celebrating like it's nobody's business. But it doesn't make sense to beat United 4-1. Then you come and lose to Norwich. What's the use of that? I mean, beat the teams that are around you, so that you can stay in the Premier League. Don't just go gunning for the big boys. What's the motivation here? I mean, you can't just be like, okay, as long as we beat this season, if I can beat just one of the teams there in the top 6, and to hell if I go down with the points with them. No, it does not work like that. You need consistency. I mean, look at Brentford. They beat Chelsea. They bashed Chelsea at the bridge. No one saw that game. No one saw that result. And Norwich and Watford, if they had some consistency as much as Brentford has, they would be far in the Premier League as well. Because this game of one season in the Premier League, next season in the Championship, it's only going to last so long until you can't make it back to the Premier League, and another team from the Championship is going to climb above you and take it forward. So they are treading on thin ice, really.
Yeah. So, Nene, let's just switch our focus now to the three teams that look like they want to stay in the Premier League. Teams that look like they could be getting to 40 points, and teams that actually have some pedigree. I mean, Burnley's been in the Premier League for, the last 6 seasons or so. They fired their coach, Sean Dyche, after he's the one who got them promoted in the first place all those years ago. But, here they are, 18 spots on 25 points. But they're fighting with Everton, who are one of the Premier League's mainstays. What's that phrase that they call ever-present? Yeah, the ever-present Premier League teams. only like the big four in the Premier League and Everton are the only teams that have played every season in the Premier League. And now look, they're sitting at 17th spot, only just above the relegation zone. And then Leeds, who are second season struggles. But they were also a big household name back in the day. So who of these three, Nene, in terms of how their current form and even just the way they play, Leeds, Everton, Burnley, who do you think is going to be the most likely? Given the fact that Leeds is sitting already on 33 points, Everton is a bit back on 29, and Burnley on 25 points.
Okay, so it's a bit of a tough one. On this one, firstly, as you said, Burnley, I think it was a big mistake to get rid of the coach. They've been in this position for quite some time, so if they were going to make a managerial change, they should have done it maybe 3 months ago. I think now it was just wrong timing, and if they get relegated, then it's all their fault. You know what? If Everton goes down, right? They're not coming back. Like your Burnleys and your Watford and the Norwich, they understand the championship. They know the formula,
Yeah.
And so I want Burnley, Watford, Norwich to go down because they will come back. If Everton goes down, they're not coming back, man. They're not. And,
this guy.
but looking at the points, it's a 4-point gap between Burnley and Everton. So I think those two teams are going to be fighting it out for that position. I don't foresee Leeds getting caught up in that battle, but I think it's going to be Burnley and Everton. But I think Everton will survive. I think they'll survive. They've got 2 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw in the last 5, and Burnley has 3 losses, 1 win, and 1 draw in the last 5. So I'll give it to marginal. And Everton shouldn't be in this position, but I think they'll survive. Yeah, I think Burnley is. If they hadn't fired the coach, I would give them a chance and say they would actually suck Leeds and Everton into it. But the fact that they got rid of the coach, I think that's the nail in the coffin.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So Burnley finishes the trio. Everton and Leeds survive. That's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah, Everton will survive.
DJ, what's your thoughts? Everton, Leeds, Burnley. Who's running away? Who's gonna get sucked in? Who's gonna fall?
I think Leeds and Everton just might scrape through. Burnley, without Sean Dykes, I don't see them getting away with it. You saw over the weekend, they missed the crucial penalty that would have given them the full 3 points. Rodriguez, the main penalty taker, wanted the penalty after Cornet was brought down, but Cornet just like hogging the ball, like, no way, I want this, so I'm taking this.
Yeah.
Stepped up, out wide, 2 points dropped. And those are the type of decisions that you ask yourself if Sean Dykes is still there. Would that have happened? That's a player who's not a regular penalty taker. Take the ball away from the guy who's assigned to be our penalty taker and just goes there and does what he done. So Burnley, I don't see any leadership in there. Yeah, they've had a good run all this time with Sean Dykes, but unfortunately, it seems like it has come to an end. And just as Nene points out, you can't afford to see Everton go down to the championship. Otherwise, we're going to be like our very own Jomo Cosmos here in South Africa. And
went down and
not
never
make
came
it back.
Yeah.
So we don't want to see that for Everton. They're too big of a team to go through that, but with poor decision making at the top, that's the result. Because whoever appointed Rafa Benitez is the one who caused what's happening at Everton right now.
Sure. Big take.
Yeah.
And I'm actually looking
also, for me with Everton, I mean, the players have just been poor. I mean, if you look at their squad, they got a good team. They've got good players. And, you know, as Roy Keane always says, that at some point it boils down to the player. And Everton, they've let themselves down, irrespective of any managerial changes. They shouldn't have gotten to 17. They shouldn't be anywhere near where they're sitting. You know, they should be 40 points and getting rid of the manager because they're not in the top 8 or the top 6 or the top 10. But it shouldn't be that they're getting rid of a manager because they're sitting 15th or 16th. You know, that the players that they've got, they shouldn't be there. Even Aston Villa is the same thing. They shouldn't be there. You know, so for me, yes, it's about the coaches, but these guys, the players also at Everton, they have no form, inconsistent, lazy. You know, they didn't butcher any teams like how you're talking about Brentford beating Arsenal, beating Chelsea. You know, Everton, they did nothing. They just beat United like late. But the whole season, you know, there's no standout results that they did. You know, they were just there making numbers for this season. So
yeah,
it's quite sad.
Sure. Yeah, and it's tough. It's actually tough because I'm looking at it. I'm like, yo, I've grown up only knowing or always knowing Merseyside derby. The Premier League is known for a couple things. It's known for Liverpool, Man United. It's known for Arsenal, Man United. It's known for Arsenal, Chelsea. It's known for Liverpool, Everton. Those are the games that make the Premier League. And so now, if Everton gets sucked down into the Championship, that's the one big derby in the Premier League gone. And I'm looking at their last matches. I mean, and as I'm talking about it, next match is Liverpool-Everton at Anfield. Potentially the last Merseyside derby. And it's got everything riding on this match. It's relegation implications. It's got title implications. Both teams need the points. But Everton's also got Chelsea and they've also got Arsenal on the last day of the season. There's no way they're winning any of those 3 games. No ways. There's no ways. So they're in trouble. But then, I mean, they've got Watford. So in that last 3 games. But I don't know. Everton looks like they're out of it. But Leeds, I think, is probably the safest of all the teams. I mean, they're already sitting on They're already sitting on 33 points. So I think just 2 wins for them will get them to 39. And I mean, 40 for me would be the one that tells you're guaranteed for survival. But this season, I think maybe you get to 37, 38, you'll be fine. That'll mean, I mean, get to where Crystal Palace is in 14th, they're on 37. I think this season, you get to 37, you'll be fine. But 40 is the usual mark. So Leeds at the moment look fine. But is there any chance of a slip up, Nene, for Leeds?
No, that means they'll have to lose all their remaining fixtures, and the other guys will have to win all their games, and that's not going to happen. So Leeds is safe, and I mean they just got a new coach all the way from the States. I mean it'd be a pity if he goes down to the Championship. So I don't think Leeds is going to get sucked in. I think Burnley but if Burnley wins the next match, they go to 28 points. And if Liverpool beats Everton and Everton stays on 29 points, then shit gets in the fan.
Yeah.
So then this conversation is different now. Yeah. Because now Everton is just 1 point ahead. And yeah. So I don't know, man.
That's why. I'm scared for Everton, guys. I'm really scared for Everton because Burnley, I mean, they're sitting in 18th, but Everton's got all the hard games. Everton's playing Liverpool, Chelsea, and Leicester. And I mean, they're playing Chelsea on the last game of the season. They're playing Liverpool this weekend. There's no way Everton's going to pull out 6 points in those two games. So that leaves the other games. And then they play Burnley. So the game against Burnley for Burnley and Everton is actually the one. Not Burnley. I mean Watford. So Everton need to look at the Watford game on the 11th of May and Brentford and be like, those are the two games we need to get 6 points and get ourselves out of here. Because I think maybe for them, 6 points from there will get Everton to 35. 35, probably a little bit short, probably need another draw or two there. But I mean, Everton's not going to come out of this. If they're playing Chelsea, Arsenal, and Liverpool, no.
What are you saying? Just say it.
Okay, my prediction for relegation, and I think maybe if Everton survives, it's because they've got 4 points cushion on Burnley. But at the same time, they're playing 3 of the traditional top big 4 in their last couple of games. So I really don't know. But let me stick my neck out here. Okay. We'll say, despite all the hard games, I think Frank Lampard, there's no way Frank Lampard gets screwed a second time. Frank Lampard got screwed out of the Chelsea job. He's not going to get screwed this time. No ways. So just for the sake of the fact that we need Frank Lampard to be in the Premier League, we need him to have a good reputation as a coach, people to take him seriously so that he even gets out of that Everton job into something more serious. And just for the sake of the fact that Everton is a household name, we need those niggas there. So let's just say that Everton will survive. Burnley, Watford, Norwich, sayonara, get out of here. Everton will survive. And by the skin of the teeth, probably on the last day of the season, and simply because Burnley will lose their last game. So that's what I think.
DJ, so is he convincing us or himself?
I think he's convincing himself, but I agree with him. I think Burnley, Watford, and Norwich. Sayonara. Adios, amigos.
Okay. I'm going to say
maybe 2 of those 3 will see them again back in the Premier League as they usually do the other season. So come on, Everton.
Let's see if Burnley wins the next game and if United wins the Merseyside derby, because then it's going to be a 1 point gap.
Yeah. Or Liverpool. Oh, so you're saying Liverpool must win the Merseyside derby and Burnley wins their next game. Okay.
Yeah. Then it's a 1 point gap. Then it's a different conversation.
Then Everton is gone. If Burnley wins that one, because then Everton still has to play Arsenal and Chelsea. They're done. they're done for.
Well, you were saying that Lampard was screwed of the Chelsea job. Isn't that enough motivation for him now at Everton? Like, Everton,
On the last day of the
we're
season.
going there to beat. I'm going to make Chelsea regret ever firing me.
Yeah.
And
But
I'm
then
taking Everton and going to win. Because you've
Yeah.
seen, I mean, Everton teams in the past that caused Chelsea lots of problems.
Yeah.
Especially with the guy who's at Chelsea now, the number 9. If you all remember him when he still had his dreads, Lukaku.
Yeah.
Lukaku
Coming
at
up against his old team.
Lukaku at Everton used to slaughter Chelsea. So I don't know Calvin Lewin and Richarlison whether they can do the same for Lampard, but as Nene said, Everton has the players to cause massive upset. Of course, the Merseyside derby to be too much to ask for them, so that's why I count it out. But against Chelsea, I don't see why they can't get a result.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
But then you know what? If Everton didn't beat United, they were bad.
Yeah.
Because it means they were
They'd already
points.
Yeah. They'd already be 1 point be ahead of Burnley now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it's big. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Everton, they shouldn't be here. Like, they shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
You know? And getting rid of coaches, it should be because you're sitting in 9th, you want to get to 7th or 6th. Not that you're sitting in 13th or 14th. You know, because if you look at all these teams from 12th, you've got Brentford, Southampton, Palace, Villa, Leeds, Everton, Burnley, Watford, Norwich. The only team that looks odd here is Everton.
Yes.
But the other guys are in the right places.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
So let's see. It's the last couple games in the running to the end of the Premier League season. Football fans, Football Xstream is still here. We're going to be bringing you the relegation fights further on. We're going to let you know who ends up where. We're going to bring you the title fights and the contenders and everything else. The Xstream Team is still here. And look out for us. Don't forget to like our videos, subscribe to our channel. The Xstream Team is here. It's been a great episode, guys. Thanks for joining me. I enjoy being together like this, guys. So till the next one. Cheers, fans. Cheers, DJ. Cheers, Nene.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. It's been good, y'all.